How do you navigate instances of disrespect? Dealing with disrespect is a universal challenge that often brings frustration and upset. What if we could draw insights from the age-old philosophy of Stoicism, offering wisdom and grace in the face of adversity? In this video, we'll delve into 10 pragmatic Stoic principles designed to enhance our ability to handle disrespect more effectively. As always, I encourage you to stay resilient and join me until the conclusion of the video. Let's get started. Number 1. Develop the skill of taking a pause. Seneca once articulated, "Whenever you are angry, be assured that it is not only a present evil, but that you have increased a habit." Stoicism places a strong emphasis on the value of self-control and rationality. Stoics argue that impulsive reactions fueled by intense emotions, such as anger or frustration, often result in poor decisions and unnecessary suffering. When confronted with disrespect, the Stoic philosophy advises against impulsive reactions. Instead, it encourages taking a moment to pause and gather one's thoughts. This intentional pause serves as a means to regain control over emotions and provides an opportunity to respond with measured thoughtfulness. By resisting the urge to react immediately, individuals can align their responses with Stoic principles of wisdom and self-control. This deliberate approach often leads to more constructive and less emotionally charged interactions in the face of disrespect. Pausing emerges as a fundamental Stoic strategy, facilitating the maintenance of composure and the ability to make rational decisions when confronted with disrespect. Ultimately, this approach contributes to more positive outcomes and personal growth. Number 2. Take a moment for self-reflection. Another important aspect of Stoicism is the practice of self-reflection and self-examination. The Stoics believed that the quality of our thoughts determines the quality of our lives, and that we should always strive to improve ourselves and our actions. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." When you face disrespect, it is essential to reflect on yourself and ask questions like, is there any truth in what the person said or did? Did I do or say anything that provoked this situation? How can I respond in a way that is consistent with my values and virtues? By reflecting on yourself and the situation objectively, you can gain a better understanding of the event and your own role in it. Self-reflection is a Stoic way of ensuring that your responses are based on rational judgment rather than impulsive reactions. It helps you learn from the situation and promotes personal growth and wisdom. Number 3. Cultivate empathy within yourself. Epictetus and other influential Stoic philosophers say, "Seek not the good in external things, seek it in yourselves." Stoics believe in the interconnectedness of humanity, and that understanding the motivations and emotions of others can lead to better interactions and personal growth. When someone shows disrespect, Stoicism suggests practicing empathy. Try to put yourself in the other person's shoes and understand their perspective. Empathy can help you see the situation from a different angle and realize that the person's disrespect may not be personal or intentional. It may be caused by their own insecurities, fears, or ignorance. Empathy can also help you feel compassion for the person and reduce your negative feelings towards them. By empathizing with the person who disrespected you, you can avoid taking their words or actions personally and respond in a more respectful and dignified manner. Empathy helps you to understand the person's perspective, feelings, and motivations. Instead of getting angry or defensive, you can respond with kindness and respect. This way, you can avoid escalating the conflict and maintain your dignity. Empathy also reflects the Stoic principles of wisdom, compassion, and self-improvement. It enables you to learn from challenging situations and grow as a person. By practicing empathy, you can cope with disrespect in a more positive and constructive way. Before we continue, acknowledge yourself as an exception for reaching this point in the video. Now that you've demonstrated your resilience, let's continue and make it to the end together. Number 4. Concentrate on virtue. One of the main ideas of Stoicism is to develop virtues such as wisdom and courage. These are the qualities that help us live well and act rightly. Seneca, a famous Stoic philosopher, wrote that virtue is nothing else than right reason. This means that being virtuous is the same as being rational and consistent with the natural order of things. Stoics believe that virtue is the highest good in life and that everything else is indifferent. When we face disrespect from others, Stoicism teaches us to focus on virtue in our response. This does not mean that we should ignore or tolerate the disrespect, but rather that we should respond in a way that reflects our Stoic values and principles. By focusing on virtue, we can avoid being influenced by our emotions, maintain our dignity and integrity, and grow as a person. Stoicism challenges us to be the best version of ourselves, even in difficult situations. Number 5. Embrace acceptance. One of the key lessons of Stoicism is to accept the things that are not in our control, such as the disrespect of others. Epictetus said, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." This means that we should be grateful for what we have and not worry about what we lack. Stoicism also teaches us to distinguish between what is in our control and what is not, which is known as the Stoic dichotomy of control. We can only control our own thoughts, feelings and actions, but not the external events or the behavior of others. Therefore, when we face disrespect, we should not let it affect our inner peace. Instead, we should accept it as a part of life and focus on what we can do to improve ourselves and our situation. By accepting disrespect with Stoicism, we can avoid unnecessary anger, frustration, and resentment. We can also learn from the experience and grow as a person. This helps us to deal with disrespect in a rational and calm way. Number 6. Keep your calm. One of the core teachings of Stoicism is that we are not disturbed by what happens to us, but by how we think about what happens to us. As Epictetus said, people are disturbed not by things, but by the view they take of them. This means that disrespect is not inherently harmful or offensive. It is our interpretation and judgment of it that make us feel hurt or angry. Free yourself when someone disrespects you. Remember that their behavior is a result of their own thoughts, feelings, and opinions, not a reflection of your true value or worth. This can help you keep your calm and not let their disrespect affect your emotional state. Number 7. Establish distinct boundaries for yourself. Stoicism is not about being a doormat, it's about being a rock that stands firm in the face of disrespect and injustice. A rock that knows its worth and demands respect from others. A rock that controls what it can and lets go of what it can't. When someone disrespects you, you don't have to take it lying down. You don't have to lash out in anger either. You can be calm and assertive. You can tell them what they did wrong and how you expect them to treat you. You can set clear and reasonable boundaries that protect your dignity and self-respect. This is what Stoicism teaches us. It teaches us to be strong, just, and courageous. It teaches us to respect ourselves and others. It teaches us to maintain our inner control and our outer dignity in any situation. Number 8. Embrace the path of forgiveness. Imagine someone disrespects you. How do you react? Do you lash out in anger, or do you let it go? The ancient philosophy of Stoicism has some wisdom to offer. Stoics believe that forgiveness is not a favor to the other person, but a gift to yourself. Forgiveness is the key to inner peace and happiness, but forgiveness is not easy. It does not mean forgetting or approving of what happened. It means choosing to release the negative emotions that are hurting you more than anyone else. Stoics say that we should forgive all but not indiscriminately. We should forgive wisely, with compassion and justice. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we can't. We can't control how others behave, but we can control how we respond. We can choose to forgive and free ourselves from the burden of anger and resentment. We can choose to move on with a sense of inner peace and tranquility. That's what Stoicism means by forgiveness. It's not a weakness, but a strength. It's not a surrender, but a victory. It's not a sacrifice, but a reward. Forgiveness is the ultimate act of self-care and personal growth. Number 9. Incorporate humor into the situation. Sometimes a little laughter goes a long way. As the ancient philosopher Seneca said, "You have mastered yourself when you know how to deal with what you should not take seriously." Stoicism teaches us to control our emotions and act rationally, but it also recognizes the value of humor in coping with challenging situations. Humor can help us keep our emotional balance and avoid getting too angry or annoyed when someone disrespects us. Instead of letting our emotions get the best of us, we can choose to respond with a witty remark or a playful joke. Of course, humor should not be used inappropriately or excessively, but it can be a useful Stoic technique to handle disrespect in a way that creates a more positive and peaceful outcome. Number 10. Change your perspective. Perspective is the capacity to view situations from a broader and more objective standpoint. It enables you to refrain from overreacting or taking personal offense when confronted with disrespect, recognizing that, in the grand scheme of things, such instances are relatively minor. In the words of the Stoic emperor Marcus Aurelius, "Our life is what our thoughts make it." Through the lens of perspective, you understand that acts of disrespect are often fleeting and inconsequential, holding no sway over your true worth or happiness. Furthermore, perspective allows you to perceive disrespect as a manifestation of the other person's ignorance, insecurity, or weakness, rather than a reflection of your own character. You can choose to disregard, forgive, or glean lessons from it, refusing to let it disturb your inner peace. Perspective also guides you to concentrate on the core aspects of life, your goals, values, and virtues. By channeling your energy and time toward pursuits that align with what is good and meaningful to you, you avoid squandering them on resentment or seeking revenge. Embracing this approach facilitates a more fulfilling and serene life. So the next time you encounter disrespect, employ perspective to maintain your composure and respond wisely. It's crucial to understand that Stoicism is not about suppressing emotions, but rather managing them adeptly. By applying these 10 principles, you can navigate disrespect and rude behavior with calmness and strength. If you found this wisdom valuable, give us a thumbs up to help us reach more individuals seeking ancient wisdom. For those new here, consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell for additional lessons on ancient wisdom. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to having you in our next video. Stay stoic.